Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sipnewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. Please know this is not financial advice. I am only here to entertain you and to remind you to buy on red candles. And speaking of red candles, there were plenty of red candles to be had today in the market. And that's because a lot of people are selling out their cryptocurrency in anticipation of the great liquidation of the FTX tokens. All of the cryptocurrency that they hold needs to be liquidated to pay back the creditors. Yesterday, we had some limited information as to what those crypto holdings were. And we knew there was a big stack of Solana to the tune of like $680 million worth of Solana, a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Ether, a lot of Doge, a lot of XRP. But there was this unknown tranche of cryptocurrency that was held because it was held by third parties, whether it was, different exchanges. Well, today we have a little bit more information. Now, we knew that $680 million worth of Solana was the biggest holding because Sam Bankman-Fried absolutely loves Solana. He said it was the most undervalued, underrated cryptocurrency that was out there. Today we found out that he really, really loves Solana. Like he was doodling Solana's name on a pad. I wouldn't be surprised to find out if he's got Solana's logo tattooed on him somewhere, because in that third tranche of cryptocurrency, the numbers revealed today that, yeah, he didn't hold about $680 million worth of Solana. He held almost double that, $1.2 billion almost worth of Solana. That's a crazy amount of Solana to be holding. So, he really did put his money where his mouth was. Too bad he also put his money in some different places where he shouldn't have put it, but he really went hard into Solana. So bad news for Solana people, because a lot of people are like, you know what? That's just a crazy number for me. I'm just not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to hold. What a lot of people have done is take their positions out of Solana, move it over into stable coins, and once they feel Solana has hit a bottom, then they'll go back in and buy their Solana and even more, which is not a bad idea. That's always a great idea whenever you feel like there's going to be a huge downtrend in the market and you don't want to keep taking losses and you don't want to keep buying the dips. The best thing to do is to move your assets over into those stable coins, whether it's USD Circle or Tether, UST Tether. And what that's going to do is, if you sell off your cryptocurrency, you move it into the stable coin, it's going to hold the value, right? Let's say if you sold $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and moved it over into stablecoin, now you got $10,000 worth of stablecoin. Now let's say Bitcoin continues to fall and fall and fall and fall. You can buy back your Bitcoin, $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, but now you're going to have more Bitcoin because you got it at a less expensive price. Now, a lot of people are not going to do that for Solana because they believe in the entire ecosystem. They don't want to hurt the ecosystem. They don't want to hurt the price by dumping it out. They're just going to hold, and they're just going to continue to buy the dips, DCA into their position, but not everybody's doing that, right? So a lot of people that are just looking out for themselves, their own bottom line, they're going to be those people that stable up. And it goes without saying, whenever you move your money into stable coins, make sure it's an actual stable coin that's backed by the good old American dollar. You do not want a stable coin that's an algorithmic stable coin, because that's a nightmare. That's what started the whole cryptocurrency market fall. The whole bear market started because of Terra Luna's stable coin depegging from the dollar. And then that began a domino effect across the entire industry. Three Arrows Capital went down, Celsius went down, Voyager, like it was like a bunch of different things that happened all because of one stable coin depegging. So just make sure, when the two different stable coins that I have are Tether and Circle. Only those two, because those two are backed by the good old American dollar. Okay. Very important to know. So, are you one of those people who continuously buy Bitcoin? Stacking your sats, buying Satoshis every single day. I know not everybody can afford to just go ahead and buy a whole Bitcoin. That's why you're able to buy partials of Bitcoin, the smallest unit known as a Satoshi. So you can buy a buck worth of Bitcoin depending on where you're buying it. If you're buying on, let's say, an exchange like crypto.com, there is going to be a certain charge that's attached to it. So you may not want to buy just a buck worth, but let's say if you're buying 10 bucks here and there, that's great. You're just adding to your position. And when Bitcoin bottoms out, you can buy more and continue to add to your. Do you know my average price of Bitcoin is $19,000? That's because when it dipped down to like that $18,000 area, I was buying like crazy. And now, now that I buy more, because the price is a little higher, that average goes higher, it actually makes me sad. But there is somebody that I would like you to follow on X, and his name is Anonymous Crypto Predictions. He does some really great technical analysis, and he's done a really great um, diagram of the Bitcoin halving cycle, basically pointing out, hey, this is what's going to happen with the Bitcoin halving cycle. This is where we can expect the price to be. Oh, this was the tweet that he released today. And he's just here. Let me hit this so that you can probably see it a little better. With the sell off today, everybody anticipating that huge liquidation coming out of FTX, Bitcoin fell out of the tranches here, came out of the channels. It moved below all of the different moving averages. So we can expect to see a continued downtrend on Bitcoin, which was, not totally unexpected because we knew that the Bitcoin halving cycle is coming up. And, often get asked, what exactly, what's with the Bitcoin, halving? Does it have, that has nothing to do with us. The halving is actually, the amount of Bitcoin that is rewarded to the Bitcoin miners every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that they are rewarded for validating a transaction and creating a new block gets cut in half. And this is a great diagram that he put together for that Bitcoin halving cycle, that right before the halving, Bitcoin will have a downtrend, accumulate, do the halving, and then reach all-time highs. And this has been a cycle with Bitcoin. Right before the halving, it goes down, and then after the halving, we reach all-time highs. And this, where he wrote in white pen over here, is a continuation of the cycles before it, showing that, we have the potential for Bitcoin to be reaching over $100,000, has the potential of going up to like $150,000. By the way, this is not, his chart is not financial advice. I'm not giving you financial advice, but I'm looking at his chart and that makes sense for me. So whenever we see Bitcoin coming down right before the halving cycle at the low points, that is where I'm going to start to buy in. And, that's why it's important for you to follow certain people that you respect their technical analysis. You like the things that they say, you watch little things that they say. And, if what they're saying matches up with what happens either the next day or a few days later, then it makes sense. If there's a pattern of them continuously making the right decisions, giving you proper information, it makes sense to learn from those people and follow what they're saying. So whenever I get somebody, or I learn of somebody, or I hear of somebody that I think is a legit person and I believe they know what they're doing, I'm always going to share who they are with you, because I think it's only right and fair. I don't like people that, they use other people's information and then they don't tell you who they are, or they pretend like it's their information. I don't like to do that. I think that information is knowledge, and we all should spread it because the more information, the more knowledge that we all have about cryptocurrency as a whole, the better it's going to be for everybody. The better uh, uh, decisions that, can you believe I just couldn't think of the word decisions? Am I okay? Do I need to be worried about me? Could you believe I just, whatever. The better decisions that we can make for ourselves financially. And whenever we prosper in a certain area of our lives, let's say you hit it lucky with Bitcoin. Let's say that you're able to stack your sats. That's when you buy little partials of Satoshis of Bitcoin, and you buy enough where, you know what, maybe you could buy freaking, depending on where you're at financially, maybe a Bitcoin, maybe half a Bitcoin, maybe 1/10 of a Bitcoin. And when it reaches its all-time high, you can turn around to those people around you and be like, "Oh my gosh, look it, I turned this little bit of money into this ginormous sum of money." And then they're going to turn to you and ask, "How did you do that? What did you do to do that?" And that's how more people get into cryptocurrency and understand cryptocurrency. But I just, I do love Bitcoin. So I just want you to remember this. Bitcoin was not made to be an investment vehicle. Bitcoin was made to ever be peer to peer digital money. That was basically, freedom from the financial system of these governments. That's why it was made. It was not made for you and I to retire on. That was never supposed to be the purpose for Bitcoin. We just happen to have the potential of maybe being lucky and having the potential of that happen. But just know that that was never meant to be the purpose of Bitcoin. And if you are interested in being a big investor in Bitcoin, I welcome you to go ahead and read the white papers that was written by Satoshi Nakamoto. Go ahead and read those babies and see if you're going to turn into a Bitcoin maximalist, like a lot of people are. Um, freedom to everybody financially to make your decisions of what you want to do with your money, and also to have it secure, not have it stolen from you because it's a secure network. Nobody's running it. A computer program is running it. So amen that we have the blockchain and privacy, right? That's what it's about. Security, confidentiality. And that's going to do it for me today. I'm sorry, I'm just reading a message that came through, but I appreciate you listening to me. Don't forget, down in the description, I am going to leave a link to the anonymous crypto guy on X. I can never remember people's name, but I appreciate you for listening to me. Until next time, please remember to only buy on those red candles. And I think we can expect to see a series of red candles in the immediate and pretty near future. So just, you know, get ready. Don't get freaked out. Just the more knowledge that you have about it, it's going to happen. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. We're going to get through this together. And I'll catch you next time. Take care.